Hello and welcome, and let's move on within the trades of NEM, GRS, Bitcoin, US dollar. And this is where I believe things start to get very, very interesting. As when I did this the first time, I'm thinking this is whereabouts I lost control of the ratio, and I'm forcing myself not to here. And let's continue on with the trade. And on the very first day of this game, we're going to have a ratio trade, which sees this price go up to 66.50. Much. This is a good trade, 37 basis points. And that's, let me put some numbers in there, 37 divided by that of 66 is a gain of 56%. And when it's a 50% gain, you technically, if you want to play aggressive enough, can sell one third of what you got. As far as the 66 price is concerned, how high is it when we look back? It's starting to get high, and it is. But in such, let's take a look at what we own. GRS, we own 58,000, which is pretty much the same price as the NEM. So therefore, you have the spot where you can go really, really aggressive, and you could try to unload like again on a 50% move. You're talking a third. You could try to go like 16, 17,000, and just see how things go. So with that being said, let's make the trade in here. So I believe for me the maximum would be about 17,000. So let's go aggressive and do that. Get 1.12 Bitcoin on that deal. And this one's a little bit lower, so I'll get a hair better than 17. Not that much of an extra hair. Alright, so let's continue on. Last trade's in at 103. Following day it goes to 104, then 82, which is a matching number here. But let's wait a day. 81. You want to try to press your luck? Go for a 70 score the next day, or 60 better maybe? Heck, but it could come 95 or back to 1. So we'll see. Let's press our luck. 73, I'm going to take it. And in such, the price here declined from 66 to 52. Price here increased from 64 to 72. Trade values were relatively even before, so I'm just going to do a trade back on this here. Unload less than 17,000, probably somewhere around, say, 14.2. Profiting about 3,000 along the way. I can even do less. That's a good profit. That's not, I could profit more is what I'm trying to say there. Let's go for 4,000 profit here. And in such, from the 17,000, I'm expecting, of course, add more than that. If it's maybe 19,500, should be not, it won't get that many. Maybe 19,000, not even that. So let's sell maybe 13,900 here instead. And pick up 18.9 on this one. So the bankroll now 7.7 on the BTC, worth about 20,000. Is it time to profit take dollars? We don't have any. We got 0.5 Bitcoin. Probably a good idea soon to start profit taking that as well. So let's move on to the next one. Ratio goes up to 85. And then it goes up to 1. And then that's definitely enough. I mean, there's a 91 there. What happened to get it there? That went down a bit. The other one went up a bit. That's great. That's what I want to see when I'm making these types of trades, from the flip back and forth like that. So let's do, last time we sold 17,000. Let's just do a little higher than that, 17.5. And amongst this in here, let's say we go, well, I'm just looking at the numbers here, it's just a bit more. 18,000, not quite. Actually, this price is a little higher, so that has to be a little lower. Okay, so there we have it. So a trade is done there. A little over 8 Bitcoin worth almost 21. So in this case here, it's going to be 1.25 and 0.8 because we're looking for at least a 25% move. And there's a 33% move. As this one has went down to 51, this one has barely went up to 67. So let's make another trade. So how many do we want to sell in here? Look at the value of this. The value of the NEM is pretty good. The value of the GRS is pretty good as well. 20% of 43,000 is getting, well, noticeably more than 8,000. So in this case, let's do 85. Really, it's a small trade. But nonetheless, I can always try to get every single one of them back. I'm just a little concerned here. Like, that's a big drop-off number here. But that was a bigger percentage move last time as well. So then in here, with the price marginally lower, that's probably a little too much at 11. No, it's not. A little too less. 11.2, I think it's going to be closer to. So we'll just do that. And there we have it for the wallet. So 1 1/3 was the price point. We're looking for pretty much close to 1 or close to 1.7. Well, there's 2.54. This is a big move. What just happened? Well, this went to 13. Okay, how's this whole GRS thing look on here? GRS is worth pretty much the same as NEM, which means I'm gonna have no choice but to profit take this against the dollar. But I'm also gonna have to trade the ratio as well. So how many do I want to do? 34,000. That's a monstrous move. And the gain was like even just like 67 to 13. So I mean that's almost double. So I'm thinking about 14, 16, 17, oh not 17, but 14,000 I'd want to liquidate. And I would probably want to go maybe 8,000 and 6,000. So this one will be against Bitcoin in the bold. Still trying to get this buyback at 23.6. This is and that's a 0.79 spot, so something to consider getting into US dollars. But again, not really because I'm expecting Bitcoin to get to around this price here at 13,250. At least at that time I was. So no, mainly just be accumulating Bitcoin and that's that. So then let's now make the ratio trade. If it's 13.2 and 52.7 here, that's more than double the 8. So what does 17.2 do? More I can get. I can go 19 maybe. Even more, 20. Okay, we'll do that. I would probably like to buy this back in two segments. Probably first a little north of between 5 to 6,000. And then again at around between 3 and 4. So let's continue on. Put 2.54 here. And on any NEM big gains, if we see NEM breaking into 5 digits, 12, especially on the 12 number, that's when you'd really want to profit take that because we've got a big accumulation of those coins. Okay, ratio down to 187. And you know what? I know it says 203. That's not even. So it's went down to 99. I could go for the quick move. And yeah, I won't. You can regret it if you see it goes back to 12.13 the next day. It doesn't. 161. 161 to 254. The differential, 40 basis points brings you to 201. 50 to 251, which is 90. 93 basis points on 161. That's over 50%. So I got to make the trade. It's making this trade back in here. Now 20,000 is a lot. I've accumulated so many. I've accumulated up to 100,000. So I don't mind getting rid of close to 20%. So let's just say take a 2,500 profit, see what that gives us. Because 20,200 minus 17,700 would equal 2,500. And on 9,003, last time I was able, I unloaded 8,000 at that ratio trade. 10,000 would be a little over 0.9, so I would be looking at about 10,800, probably closer to 10.9 maybe. And that will work. Okay, there we have it. Almost 9 Bitcoin, worth almost 20,000 at this time. Bitcoin price is at 22. So let's continue on. We'll put 161 in here. $176, 140, 147, 153, 150, 135, and there's 102. There's a good numbered switch. And it's just an obvious trade day. How could it not be? You were at 129. No way you were doing 135. And at 102, the differential from 102 to 161 is 59 basis points. So we're looking at like 58, 57% move. The play here is 6,400, so we're due some more selling of the NEM. And owning 87,000, well, 20% of that is like 17, so easily being able to do 20,000 to me seems to be affordable, but I also want to keep some back for profit taking against Bitcoin as well. So let's continue on near where we were. Let's go 16,500. That should get us a good score on the Bitcoin number here. Yes, it does a little over 1 Bitcoin. And 6,400 here. So that's a little more expensive than this price, so it should be a little less than the 16. So, I mean, yeah, even more than that, like 16.1 or something. Okay, so that trade is done. 8.7 Bitcoin worth 23,000 and Bitcoin at 26.67 at the time. Let's change this up. So we'll be looking at over 128 or under 82. There's 97, 84, which is close, 82, which is on. So what's happening this time? I'm not going to trade it. This price has stayed the same. This is at 51. As far as when we traded against the, I should put here, that I wanted to buy between 5 and 6. So I think this is a time where I'm going to do that. So let's just do a GRS buy. And as I mentioned before, I want to do about half of it on this one here. So last time it was selling 6,000 for 13,250. If I look at this here, I go say 9,000. That would not be worth the number. If I just do the 6,000 back, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. It's not. I'm not getting too much, but so I'm still gonna keep this bold because I got half of it still left to get. If really again between like 3 to 4,000 is where I'd probably want to get the other bit. All right, so let's continue on. 84, 71, so that should be enough for the ratio. Now it's at 4,000. I'm just going to do a ratio trade here. This is at 56. So let's go ahead and make a trade. And we can see here the NEM is worth almost double the GRS. I own 71,000 of them. 20% is 14,000. I was doing 16. Let's go 15,000 here. And this price is noticeably lower, so 20,000 probably a little too much, or a little too less rather. Okay, there we have it. So put 0.71 in here. Let's move on. Looking for below 57. That's what I found. That's what I found. Okay, so what happened here? This price went up to 82. I'm probably going to want to sell some of it against the Bitcoin. Although I was saying 10, but when I look at these prices, I was at 10 before. Yeah, it was probably, but it's worth so much. Meaning, your NEM is 4.5. Regardless of the fact, this is working well trading this against the GRS. That's the obvious play. We own 56,000, so that means around 12,000 is 20%. So let's do 13. And amongst here we got, this is at 4,050. So that's less than half. So I'm getting well more than 26. Let's just see what 27 will yield. Not quite enough. So I'll settle for 26,200. So essentially here we can see this is 1.0654 entered minus 106,375 left. So I got a microscopic bit more of Bitcoin after this trade. And rake is included within such at 25%. Okay, so here we have the balances. Let's go to the trades. What's the next one? We got 0.49. So we got 48. We're looking for below 39, above 61. It's at 60 with the movement of NEM going back down. 49, back to where the last trade number was. And not much going on here. A little bit of a cooler time as far as where the price is. They're declining here. And let's get real here. I was a little slow here, even though I get a better deal now. I'm just looking at the numbers. This is where I'd want to buy GRS. I was mainly just looking at the ratio at that spot. But this price is down to 31, so I kind of want to complete this trade here. So therefore, let's do it. So last time I have zero point 0.3 Bitcoin here, 0.79. That's a differential of 0.49. So I probably want to buy somewhere around 0.35, zero point 0.3, zero point 0.4, which should be like about 11,000. So we'll go 12. And I'll undo this, or unbold this rather. And with the declines, we got this down to 7.2 and this down to 26,000. But Bitcoin up to 36, so really I don't know about being down. Okay, let's go back to this again, looking for the 39 below, handle below, which is where you're closest to now. There's 38 here. I wouldn't mind seeing 36 or 35. There we go. So what has happened in the ratio? Last time it was 82 and 4. Now it's 61 and 2. So you're selling something that just went down. No biggie. No big whoop. Your NEM, you own 43,000. I want to do the most minimum that I'd want to do in this spot because that's all I've been doing lately is selling NEM, adding GRS. But that's how this game works. And for a period of time, you sell a bunch of one, then you sell a bunch of the other, and then the amounts you make can just be tremendous. So then, uh, 9,000 to 10,000, I'm thinking. So let's go minus 9,600. .588 was the number before, so we're probably looking at about 22,000. Or more than that, 26 is probably too low. Okay, we'll do that. So 26,900 in, 9,600 out. 35 is the last trade. Looking for below 28, above 44. That's above 44, but not by much. What's happened since is the NEM losing value and the GRS gaining a little bit of value. The differential is 11 basis points, but it's a trade back from the last one. And really, it's a simple. I'm starting to get way too many GRS as it is anyway, so I don't mind. So just unloading 25,000, something that's like meh easy when I own 140, considering 20% is 28,000 almost. Then no, it's easy to do. So then let's unload, say, 24.9, gain 2,000. I'll probably do a bit better of a gain because I'm only gaining about 7-8% here. But in here, would I get 11,004 looks closer. Yep, 11,300. So in this here, I'm gaining 1,700. I'm getting almost 19% of from the 9,600 on this. But as many of these gains I can pick away at, of course, is always ideal. 6.5 Bitcoin worth 26,000. Let's move on to the next trade. 0.46 is the last. We're looking for 37 or 58. And there's 53. Bitcoin price is up to 47. Okay, it's a lot of days, not much going on here. 50, 46, 48. There's 57, so we're close. 71. So this is 43, this is 6,000. So basically, a GRS has went up again. That's tremendous. Okay then, so we'll put in ratio in here. 0.71 is last trade. GRS ownership 114,000. So unloading in that 20,000 number seems to be still in line. 24.5. And I would think in here we would get what, 16,000, a bit more. Okay, so that trade is done. 8.23 Bitcoin, 34,000 US dollars. Only 0.62 Bitcoin at this time. So and you always have, if you want to sell Bitcoin, sell here for Bitcoin at this time, it's something that's not a bad idea, especially, but again, if you don't, then you're having coins that you can trade back and forth at the higher rates. Because if you trade coins against Bitcoin, you lose coins to trade against the ratio. I think that's what I'm trying to say amongst that. But let's go to the next trade. I can probably do a couple more before ending this part. We're on period number 504 here. Looking for 89 or 57. This one went up to 71. That's a big move. That's a big move. Okay, what do we do here? We could sell some against Bitcoin. And of course, we're definitely going to be trading against the ratio. Good thing we accumulated a whole bunch of these coins. We're 6.5 Bitcoin now. Tell me the 90,000 do I want to unload? 20, 25,000? 25,000 is like 30% of them. Not even 30,000 is 30%. So between 25 and 30 seems like the obvious number. So if I go say 17,000 and 12,000. I have 0.85 Bitcoin just in that. So let's do that. Let's take some Bitcoin. And let's make this trade against NEM. So NEM is at 60.68. Obviously, because it's a lower price, I'm going to get more than the 17. So what does 20 do? A little too much. Oh, that would be even more much. But 19.6, I could do a bit more. Even do a bit more there. And I'll settle for that. Okay, so I'll do one more trade to finish off this video. But before we do that, as far as the wallet, again, 10.7 Bitcoin worth $44,000. And the BTC is up to 1.5 Bitcoin, so that's good to see. And let's give this a bold. So the buyback on this after selling, it's got to be 3,000 maximum. Especially because I'm still looking at this one. So yeah, I'd be looking at about 3,000 in the 2,000s. And final trade, let's bring it into place. So I'm looking for pierce below 94, above 146. That's 89 one day. Because GRS goes down. So in this case here, NEM's just got a better value. Just going to flip a little bit of it back. Last time we gained 19,800. And on the NEM ownership, 20% is like 16, 17,000. So going like say 17.6-ish or so seems like a number I would do. That's just a number that comes to my head because it works to that around that 20% number. It gives me profit here. In this case, I'd be profiting 2,200. And here, I think it was 52.56. Yep. I unloaded 17,000 against the ratio. I'm going to get more than that back. I'm going to get, obviously it's cheaper than the 59 by about 10%, so I should be getting like close, like over 19,000 back on it. I most certainly will. There we go, 19,750. So on that trade flip, 2200 NEM and 2750 of the GRS. And we started this game with like about 20,000 of each coin. 20,000 of each is what the gain was. And now I'm just unloading 20,000 lots at this stage. This is about, they're both 4x moves. 3 and 4x, 3x on the NEM, 3, 4x, whatever. Good gains. And then having 1.4 Bitcoin handy is a pretty cool thing to have happening at this time. So here we stand to finish off this video. Look, stay tuned for the next one, probably tomorrow. Take care.